Hey, what's going? Happy Monday, October 19th, 2020. Just want to make a comment. I have several athletes that I'm sure are kind of questioning. 70.3 Arizona 2020 actually happened yesterday, so that was exciting. Reading a little bit background on it, they had about 800 entrants, which is, they say half, but usually half Ironman races could have anywhere up to 2,500 people. So from deferments or anything like that, so 800 people, 70.3 Arizona on October 18th of 2020. So that's the first Ironman event in North America that has happened since the pandemic kind of blew everything out of the water in March of 2020. So a few important things to keep in mind because I have athletes doing 70.3 Texas and Galveston. Got some doing Ironman Florida in November and 70.3 Gulf Coast. They're going to do those on the same weekend. So we got, and then 70.3 Galveston, like I mentioned, I think is November 22nd. So there's a few races that got postponed till later. A few races are scheduled to happen later anyway. So right now, those are potentially still on the calendar. And they've proven that they can host, they can use safety measures to make sure that they're covering any health guidance or issuance from the state or from the government or anything like that. And they've run several events outside of the United States as well. And reading up on an article that was published today, there's been no necessarily instances of COVID-19 infections connected to these events. So the question is, does this mean that all races now scheduled are on for Ironman? A couple things to kind of take into account with that. Where is the event and what state? Because let's face it, some states are a little bit more strict than others. So you're looking at Galveston in Texas. They're pretty. They did put a mask mandate in, I think, in June when their cases went up. Right now, the cases, as of today, who knows if that's going to change in an hour. Cases are pretty steady, so they haven't had the need to really take too many precautions. Whatever they're whether cases go up, go down, or whatever, or sideways, hospitalizations go up, deaths go up, or anything like that. That's going to play a little bit of a role, but what's going to play a major role is the kind of the states, how they've handled this in the past. So you need to look at states that are where these events are going to happen. You got Florida, and you got Texas, you got Arizona. Those are pretty much states that, unless it's gone totally haywire, they've tried to keep normality and they've tried to keep open as much as possible. Now, Ironman will do everything possible. They're requiring masks at all their venues and everything like that, so they've got that covered. So they pretty much are on board with whatever a state will require and mandate, CDC, whatever, WHO, whatever they're recommending. That's what Ironman is using. They're using safety measures, social distancing, and everything they possibly can. Setting up racks further apart in transition, face masks, all that good stuff. So the key is these events are still on the schedule for the rest of 2020. They haven't taken them off. The key is going to be as if the governments and the locations issue the permits and let them do the race. So I think 70.3 Arizona has gone a long ways in telling them that this event can happen. I think 2 or 3 weeks out from now, if they can prove that it's like, hey, we've had no outbreaks, this is not some super spreader event, I think especially Texas and Florida are going to be more apt to say, yes, you're allowed to hold these events as long as you keep the safety measures. And I think for the most part, people that feel comfortable they can travel during this times, they're going to do the race, and I think everything's going to go smooth. Personally, that's my personal. I'm whatever you want to believe, mask or not mask, or cases are blown out of proportion or whatever. We're still dealing with it, and the governments take it seriously. States, it's real for them. They will take different measures, but I think Florida and Texas are the most open to keeping the economies open, to letting events happen, did not have restrictions on events like that. So keep training. Tell my athletes they're doing 70.3 Galveston, they're doing Florida, 70.3 Gulf Coast. Keep training. Right now the events are on the schedule. They anticipate them happening. Do not fall off the rails. 70.3 Arizona happened. Prove that they can do this, and a state will let them. And so far, nothing major has come of it. So stay tuned in the next 2 or 3 weeks if anything kind of bubbles up. But reading articles, they have not had any cases associated with Ironman events being super spreaders or anything like that. So if anybody is going to follow guidance out there, I think it's going to be the Type A people that do these events. So, stay positive. I think they're demonstrating that they can do these events. So it's kind of uplifting looking at early 2021 as well. I'm supposed to be doing Ironman Tulsa, 70.3 Des Moines. That's in the early spring. So giving us a good sign that these races can happen and that they can be done safely, and that municipalities, states, cities, counties, everybody will let them do it. So here's looking at in Arizona, the full Ironman is in November as well. So we're keeping all eyes on that. But I'm telling my athletes, hey, they're going to happen. Keep training. And if you hear my daughter, she's playing with the dog. So let's just keep doing what we're doing and get ready for racing again. So good luck out there and happy training. We'll talk to you later.